Hey students, in this activity you're going to practice substitution method. So you're going to be solving 3x3 systems using the substitution method that we taught you these past couple of days. It is a scavenger hunt, so that means that one answer will take to another card, and then the order that you end up with should make a word that makes sense. You have two sets, so whichever set you were given, it doesn't matter, practice is practice. So I'm going to just randomly grab the card from set A and just either copy the work here, and it's super tiny for me, so I'm gonna turn to the back. You can always use scratch paper as much as you need. Here are the equations in this card, and the first thing I want to do is identify how many variables each one has. So this first one has 2, the y and the z. The second one has 3 variables, y, x, and z. And the third one has 2 variables, x and z. And in class, we taught you that you can just kind of focus only on the 2x2 when this happens and see if you can solve it using substitution method in Algebra 1 level. It looks like we cannot because they're not the same letters. So what we're going to do instead is see what we can do as far as making an equation the same variable so we can solve for that same variable. For example, both of them have a z. So if we replace the variables here on this one with an expression with a z, then we will have a big equation, but all of it will just be z. So let's try that. We already have x equals, so we're going to look at the top one and make that y equals. So negative 2y plus 5z equals negative 3. And to isolate for y, we need to move this to the other side, so minus 5z. Cancels, and we're going to have negative 2y equals negative 5z minus 3. We're going to divide by negative 2, and we have, sorry, y equals 5 over 2 is a fraction, negative divided by negative is positive, z, negative divided by negative is positive, and 3 divided by 2 will be also a fraction. So this is the expression for the letter y. This is the expression for the letter x. So we're going to substitute these two expressions into this equation for x and y. So let's do that. Instead of y, I'm going to write the expression for y. So 5 over 2z plus 3 over 2 equals, and then negative 5, and instead of x, so I'm just substituting these values right here. Instead of x, I'm going to write this expression. So 4z plus 4, and then minus 4z minus 5. Okay, I know it looks crazy, but hang in there. It's doable. So first we have parentheses. We're going to distribute. Negative 5 times positive 4, that's negative 20z. Negative 5 times positive 4, that's negative 20. And then we copy everything else. Okay, and then we want to combine like terms. So over here we have two z's that can combine. So that's negative 20 minus 4. So that ends up being negative 24. And remember, it's a z. So we're going to put z. Next is combining these other two. These are just constants. They're numbers by themselves. So we have negative 20 minus 5. And we just have negative 25. Okay, so now let's rewrite this left side. So you can continue working the fractions, or you can actually get rid of the fractions. Previous knowledge should tell you that this is just dividing by 2, so to undo that, that's multiplying by 2. So we're going to cancel these fractions by multiplying the whole equation times 2. So 2 times 5 over 2 is just the top number, because if you're dividing by 2 and then you multiply times 2, so that cancels. So we just have 5z, and then 2 times 3 halves. Again, the division of 2 cancels. So now we have just plus 3. If you want to check in the calculator that, go ahead, pause the video. All right, so don't forget about these. These are also part of the equation, so we're also going to multiply those by 2. So negative 24 times 2, that will be negative 48z. And then negative 25 times 2, that's negative 50. All right, we're getting somewhere. Hang in there. Now we just need to solve for z. So this 3 shouldn't be here. Let's move it to the other side, minus 3. And then now we have 5z equals negative 48z. And then negative 50 minus 3 is negative 53. Now this z doesn't belong here, so let's cancel that one. So plus 48z plus 48z. So this cancels, and then now we have 5 plus 48, which is 53z, equals negative 53. So this is a basic equation from 6th grade level, so let's just divide by 53, and we get negative 1. Yes, it's a lot of work, I'm sorry, but you know, that's math. Hang in there. So from the solution, we have x, y, z as a solution, and right now we already found z. So we're going to put negative 1. And now we use our original equations to solve for the other variables. So remember, x equals 4z plus 4. So you can just grab that equation and substitute the z with the value that we found. So that will be 4 times negative 1 plus 4. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. And negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So that's your x. Let's go ahead and put that here. And the last one is the y. So definitely we can use this one or that one, whichever one you want. I'm just going to use the second one because it's already y equals. So I'm just going to copy that down. So it's negative 5x minus 4z minus 5. And for the x, as mentioned up here, is a 0. Minus 4. And then for the z, as you substituted here, negative 1, we're also going to substitute also here. And again, these values are from our solution. And then minus 5. So there's no letters anymore, just y. So now we just simplify this. Negative 5 times 0, that's nothing, 0. So we can cancel it. This is negative 4 times negative 1. So that ends up positive 4. And then that's just minus 5. So y equals positive 4 minus 5. So definitely y just equals negative 1. And you're done. So what you're going to do now is look through your cards and look for which card has that answer. And this card has it. So that means that from this card follows. So on your paper, you're going to put that you started with letter C. That's the one we were doing. And the answer we got was that one. So then now it's O. And then you continue. So go ahead and copy this down and keep solving. And remember, if you need to rewatch the video, just go ahead and replay. Hope this helps.